All right, what do you motherfuckers know about Maniac Cop? Maniac Cop. This is really blue. Wow. Hold on. Okay, that's a little better. Maniac Cop is directed by William Lustig, director of Maniac, Maniac Cop, Maniac Cop 2, and Maniac Cop 3. Although he's listed as, the director, I don't know, we don't know if it's him or not. I can't prove anything. The director of Maniac Cop 3 is listed as Alan Smithee, which means I'm in for some if I watch the third one. It's credited to Alan Smithee. Those who may not be in the aware, there's a movie or documentary called Burn Hollywood Burn that gets a little bit more into it, but Alan Smithee was a pen name that directors would use if they made a movie and didn't want to be associated with it. David Fincher did that for Alien 3. I think less so now. I think he's attached to it now, but when it came out, it was directed by Alan Smithee because so much studio interference happened that he was like, that's not my movie anymore. But yeah, Alien 3 has it. One of the Hellraiser sequels have it. Maniac Cop 3 has it. A bunch of just some of the worst has Alan Smithee as a director. I believe it's no longer used. I believe we have a new surname or a new pen name that people use that we may or may not be aware of yet. We probably are. The internet is a thing. I'm sure people have discovered it. But either way, same director for all three films and Maniac, which I also hear really good things about Maniac, so I might check that one out. But Maniac Cop stars my boy, Bruce Campbell, otherwise known as Ash Williams in the Evil Dead franchise, multiple small parts in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, Bubba Hotep, and Richard Roundtree. He was in Seven, Speed Racer, Shaft the original, Shaft the remake, and Shaft the re-remake. He gets around. And Robert Z'Dar. I finally get to talk about Robert Z'Dar. And Robert Z'Dar, star of 113 goddamn B movies. There's literally too many to count, and I'm gonna say, or too many to name, and I'm gonna say movies that no one's ever heard of. So just for some of them I wrote down that I recognized the title of was Samurai Cop. It always comes back to Melissa Moore. Samurai Cop, Tango and Cash, Beastmaster 2, The Night Stalker. The big thing with him is he has a scarily recognizable face, and I mean this with all sincerity. Having that recognizable face is a godsend. I miss you, Robert Z'Dar. Rest in peace. But yes, it's very important to note that he has a very recognizable face because I have never seen Maniac Cop. I've heard people talk about the second one more so than the first one. And I've heard people talk really positively about the second one, which I'll get into a little bit tomorrow, spoiler. But I figured I could just hop over to the second one. But I wanted to watch the first one, even if they had nothing to do with each other, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes they make a sequel and it has nothing to do with, you could just, I wanted to watch the first one. And the entire time I'm watching the first one, I'm just like, where's Robert Z'Dar? Like, Robert Z'Dar, he's casted. He's probably going to be in this for like 5 minutes at most. Turns out, he is the Maniac Cop, and I didn't look into this prior, but he's the Maniac Cop, and I realized that it was Robert Z'Dar before he was even in frame, because I shit you not, there's like a dark scene in an alleyway where it's just like his highlights, like the sides of his face that are illuminated, and I saw that motherfucker's cheekbones, and I went, that's Robert Z'Dar. I was like, that's his fucking face. And I was right. Oh, that's Robert Z'Dar. 100%. Now, I don't know if Maniac Cop borders on more action schlocky than horror. I don't care. This movie was amazing. I don't know why I don't hear anybody talk about the first Maniac Cop, like, ever, if I ever hear anybody talking about Maniac Cop. Maniac Cop is basically just, it's a crime procedural, it's a slasher movie, it's a mystery, and it's an action movie. All rolled into one B-movie thing, and it's distributed by Troma. It's like Stuff Stephanie in the fucking incinerator. It's distributed by Troma. And I saw that come up, and it no longer filled me with joy and whimsy of Toxic Avenger and Return to Nukem High, or Class of Nukem High, or it filled me with fear. We're watching Maniac Cop. Motherfucker. Oh no, it's another Troma? Oh no. And I immediately was like, maybe there's a reason no one talks about the first movie. Oh, fuck. No, this was not, while not being as trashy and schlocky and cheap as Troma, this felt more Troma than Stuff Stephanie into the Incinerator did, thank Christ. Basic outline of the plot, because I'm going to spoil this bit because it takes a bit for the plot to really get going, but just to kind of discuss things that happen, I'll get into it just a bit. Robert Z'Dar plays a man named Matt Cordell. Matt Cordell was, according to some people, a good cop. According to what other people say in the movie that he did, is he wouldn't question anybody, he would just shoot and kill whoever, and that made him a good cop. So maybe in New York in the 80s, hey, I don't know, but that made him a good cop. It's so good that the mayor and the police chief, I think, or some other high-ranking politician or whatever, was like, they did some sort of backdoor deal where they had to get him off the force. So they were able to peg him with like 47,000 counts of manslaughter, I guess. I don't know. And he was sent to a prison in Sing Sing, which I didn't know to research into this. I don't know if this is a real prison where they send people to be executed. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not looking to be there. I'm not really planning my stay vacation, all right? But he was sent there to be executed. He was murdered there. A bunch of the inmates who were in there got him in the shower and they stabbed him. They started trying to beat the shit out of him. Robert Zadar's clocking people against walls, and it's fairly brutal for what it is. And then somebody gets a lucky stab at his back, and then he's just getting sliced across the face, and then some asshole throws like one more across, like into his cheek up to his ear, just to be a dick. He's already down, he's fallen over, but just to be an asshole, that guy just carves him, and he was pronounced dead. However, later we find out that the coroner, who was basically, as explained, the job of a police coroner is, we're not making the bodies look good if they die in prison. We are just stitching what needs to be stitched and shipping it off to whatever family member wants to claim them. And he was in the process of doing this and discovered he had a pulse still. He was just brain dead. He had a pulse and was still alive, but brain dead. He was never buried, and a woman at the police station claimed the body, so whatever. So she took him in, and now all of a sudden he's back. I don't know if being brain dead gives you like undead superpowers or whatever, but this motherfucker tanks like 9 bullets to the head, into the chest, into the stomach, and doesn't flinch. I don't know, but now he's just on a rampage. He was originally killing drug dealers, bank robbers, store robbers, whatever. Now he's just going after whoever. This leads us to Bruce Campbell, who I'm going to have to put up the size comparisons between Robert Zadar and Bruce Campbell. In the movie, they say that they have the same height or build, or both. So Robert Zadar kills Bruce Campbell's wife, and Matt Cordell. Robert Zadar didn't do this. Matt Cordell kills Bruce Campbell's wife by slicing her across the throat, and Bruce Campbell was already cheating on his wife with a woman, and they were able to basically pin that murder and all the other murders on Bruce Campbell because he was just trying to sleep with this person he was cheating on his wife with, and that would be the full story for Matt. Except the murders keep happening, and it's not him, except that when the murders happen, he's always kind of around and involved somehow, so it keeps just getting worse for him. And that's our basic movie, but man, we got everything. We got gore, we got car chases, we got in Bruce Campbell being a buffoon. It is a wondrous movie. There was not a single moment where I was watching this and was disinterested even just a little bit. I was watching it the whole time, and I was thinking, because I was just like, even movies that I like, or that for this marathon that I've liked, like Dolls, Dr. Death to an extent, The Jester, even movies that I've liked, they've always had a moment or a couple moments where I'm just like, boy, is this been over yet? Not this one. The pacing in the beginning is so good because you're getting exactly what you want, which is cops doing cop things. Cut to scene, Robert Zadar's murdering somebody. Cut scene, cops doing cop things, Robert Zadar's murdering somebody. And it's just like, the first, I think, 6 scenes are cop procedural murder, cop procedural murder, cop procedural murder, and then the plot goes off. But it hooks you within those couple of minutes because you're just like, this guy's doing just insane shit to kill these people, picking up a woman and just kind of rotating her a little bit, and it snaps her neck, and it's like, okay, buddy, where did this strength come from? It's ridiculous. I loved it. This was like everything I wanted for like a schlock B movie, and I don't care if it's more action-oriented. This was everything I wanted from this marathon, and this has a high chance of being the best thing from this entire marathon. As far as I'm concerned, we're calling it. This is the Tubiween grand winner. Here's the unfortunate thing. I think this movie might actually be really good. But with that, I'm going to give Maniac Cop the overall rating on the Schlockometer of 4.5 out of 5. It's not a perfect movie. The car chase could have been a little longer. No, there's just like little itty bitty things where there could be some issues, or I have some issues with. Again, does being brain dead make Robert Zadar invincible? Because there's some shit he goes through that he shouldn't have survived. But it's also like, I don't really care. I had so much fun with this movie. I loved all of it. While watching it, there was a moment where I was just like, dog, is this on Blu-ray? Because I want to own this. I need to have this movie. This is f***ing great. I'm shocked. Does this bitch have a Blu-ray that I can buy? Holy shit. I will be buying that Blu-ray. It is so good. Which I have not had a moment of during any of these where I'm like, I need to own this movie. Good job, Maniac Cop. You made a sale. I will be buying that Blu-ray in the coming weeks. So get ready for that. But yeah, next week, tomorrow, we're going to talk about its sequel and why it's not as good. Oh. Bruce, jump off! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Is that Robert Zadar? Holy f... Hey, what the fuck? They got Robert Zadar in here. Yo, what the f... Robert Zadar? Robert Zadar? Killing American style star Robert Zadar? What the fuck?